Hello everyone. Welcome to the daily current affairs session by Ekam IAS. Today on 19th November 2018, our topics are Parambiculam Tiger Reserve, Asia Index, Trans Fatty Acid, Letter of Comfort and Sovereign Guarantee, Most Favorable Nation or MFN status, and in map aided program we will be dealing with Benah and Kochi Tunnel and PQRS session. So let's move on to our first topic, that is Parambiculam Tiger Reserve. Why this came in news? Because a recent survey held in the reserve spotted 221 varieties of butterflies. So among these 221 varieties of butterflies, 11 of which are endemic to that area. The biggest surprise of the survey is that the spotting of red disc bush brown, and this red disc bush brown, it is a high altitude butterfly species and it is endemic to Western Ghats. And this red disc bush brown butterfly, it is seen in this Parambiculam Tiger Reserve. And this survey also recorded migration patterns of rare species such as dark blue tiger and common crow. The next point, it is an important point, that is Buddha peacock or Buddha mayuri, which was recently declared as state butterfly of Kerala. So it is to be noted that Buddha peacock or Buddha mayuri, it was recently declared as state butterfly of Kerala, and it is also spotted on this Parambiculam Tiger Reserve. Next we can look about Parambiculam Tiger Reserve. It is the protected area in Palakkad district of Kerala and it was established in 1973. It lies in the Sankam range of hills between Anamalai Hills and Nelliyambadi Hills. This Parambiculam Wildlife Sanctuary was declared as a part of Parambiculam Tiger Reserve on 2010, that is February 19, 2010. And this Parambiculam Tiger Reserve, it is a home for 4 different types of indigenous people. They are Kadar, Malasar, Muduvar and Mala Malasar. This Parambiculam Tiger Reserve implements the Participatory Forest Management Scheme, that is PFMS. Let's move on to our next topic, that is Asia Index. Why this came in news? Because the Asia's oldest Bombay Stock Exchange, that is BSE, has decided to snap ties with S&P Dow Jones, which manages and operates the census. The BSE plans to develop its own indices with the help of its in-house development team. About Asia Index. Asia Index Private Limited, it's a 50-50 partnership between S&P Dow Jones Indices and BSE. This S&P Dow Jones Indices, it is the world's largest provider of financial market, whereas BSE, it is Asia's oldest stock exchange. This Asia Index combines the benchmarks, market intelligence and insights of both parent companies. It aims to provide a full array of indices enabling global and domestic investors to participate in South Asia's vibrant economies. So, it was already decided to launch in 2013. The deal with BSE came after the expiry of the licensing arrangement between IISL. IISL stands for India Index Service and Products, and this IISL, it's a joint venture of NSE and S&P owned CRISIL. This S&P Dow Jones Indices, it's a subsidiary of the McGraw-Hill companies. The rival BOSE, that is National Stock Exchange, NSE Indices, are managed and operated by NSE Indices, a service arm of the stock exchange. And our next topic is regarding trans fatty acid. Why this came in news? Because the Health Department and the Food Safety Wing, they are going to launch an initiative to enforce dietary guidelines, that is regarding the reduction of use of trans fatty acids salt and sugar in the commercially available foods in the state. About the news, this unhealthy diet practice that we are following, it increases a chance of getting metabolic syndrome and premature death, thereby increasing the rate of non-communicable disease among Keralites. This is done with the technical support from World Bank, WHO and Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, that is FSSAI. This metabolic syndrome in Kerala, it ranges between 24 to 33%. That means 1 out of 3 or 4 persons, that is predominantly women, has a great chance of getting this metabolic syndrome. Next we can look upon trans fats. Trans fats are a type of unsaturated fat or unsaturated fatty acid that occur in small amount in nature. It's of two types, that is naturally occurring trans fats and artificial trans fats. This naturally occurring trans fats is usually seen in the gut of animals and hence it is seen in milk products and meat products. The next category, that is artificial trans fats. It is created in an industrial process that adds hydrogen to liquid vegetable oils, thereby increasing its solid texture. Why do companies use these trans fats? These trans fats gives the food a desirable taste and texture. So, those types of oil which contain these trans fats can be used many times in commercial fryers. That is, it is used in large scale in bakeries and hotels for repeated frying of food items. How do these trans fats affect our health? The normal range of cholesterol in an adult is preferable to be less than 200 mg per dl. But these trans fats, it raise the amount of bad cholesterol, that is LDL levels, and lowers the amount of good cholesterol, that is HDL, thereby increasing the chance of developing heart disease, stroke and type 2 diabetes. Next is about metabolic syndrome. This metabolic syndrome is a cluster of metabolic abnormalities which includes high blood pressure, high blood sugar, abdominal obesity, abnormal cholesterol or triglyceride level that occur together. Hence, it is raising the risk of getting heart disease, stroke, diabetes, etc. The high level of triglycerides, the condition is called hypertriglyceridemia. It is an indicative of dietary pattern which contain high fats and carbohydrates. The main contributors, the high content of industrial trans fats and salt in baked goods, fried chicken or banana chips is contributing to this epidemic of MS in Kerala. WHO recommends that trans fat intake be limited to less than 1% of total energy intake and the total elimination of trans fats in global food supply by 2023. And FSSAI has proposed to limit TFA limit in foods to 2% and eliminate trans fats from foods by 2022. Our next topic is letter of comfort and sovereign guarantee. Why this came in news? Because the central government recently admitted in Supreme Court that the French government only gave a letter of comfort and no sovereign guarantee in the Rafale deal. So this Rafale is a twin-engine medium multi-role combat aircraft and it is manufactured by French company Dassault Aviation. This French company Dassault Aviation claims that this Rafale has omni-role capability, that it performs several actions at the same time, such as firing air-to-air missiles at a very low altitude, then air-to-ground and interceptions during the same sort. About letter of comfort. It's a written document that provides a level of assurance that an obligation will ultimately be met, and is typically phrased in vague wording. It creates only a moral obligation for the issue rather than a legal one. So in olden days, it is used by external auditors or organizations or persons or lenders as assurance or solvency opinions. It is also issued by a parent company on behalf of a subsidiary to avail loans or meet deadlines. So here in this context, the French government has issued a letter of comfort on behalf of Dassault Aviation. Next is regarding the sovereign guarantee. It's a promise by government to discharge the liability of a third person, that is a primary obligor, in case of his default. They are contingent liabilities of the central and state government that come into play on the occurrence of an event covered by the guarantee. And our next topic is MFN, that is Most Favored Nation status. Why this came in news? Because Pakistan recently said it has no immediate plans to grant India the Most Favored Nation status. About Most Favored Nation status. It mandates equal treatment of all trading partners by a country, and it is one of the two main trading principles of WTO. So, if a country grants a special favor to a trading partner or other country, it has to extend the same to all its WTO members. Actually, it is a contradictory term. In general, every time a country lowers the trade barrier or opens up a market, then it has to do so for the same goods or services from all its trading partners, whether it is rich or poor or weak or even strong. That is regarding this MFN status. Some exceptions are allowed under strict condition. That is, free trade agreements can discriminate between goods originating within and outside the group. Then developing countries may be given special access to markets, and barriers may be raised against unfair trade of products from specific countries. And also, countries are allowed to discriminate in service in limited circumstances. And our next session is Math Aided Program, and today we are dealing with Benihal and Quasigun Tunnel. Why this came in news? Because the excavation work inside the Benihal and Quasigun Tunnel along Jammu-Srinagar National Highway was completed. So this is the map. In that you can see the Benihal and Quasigun region. Next, about the tunnel. It's a 8.5 kilometer road tunnel and it is in the Tirpanchal range. It connects Benihal and Quasigun. Hence it got the name Benihal Quasigun Tunnel. It's actually a double tube tunnel and it is consisting of two parallel tunnels, one for each direction of travel. And these two tunnels meet at a passage every 500 meters, and it is usually provided for maintenance and emergency evacuation. This tunnel will have forced ventilation for extracting smoke and stale air and for infusing fresh air. So, the new Benihal Quasigun Tunnel's elevation is 1790 meters, that is 400 meters below Jawahar Tunnel. Actually, earlier there was a tunnel called Jawahar Tunnel and it is located in the Benihal Pass and it is at a much higher elevation than this Benihal Quasigun Tunnel, and thus it is much prone to avalanches. Whereas our new Benihal Quasigun Tunnel, it is at a lower elevation and thus it is less prone to avalanches. Next is our PQRS session, that is Prelims Question Revision Series. In this session, we will be dealing with a question from environment. So, the question is, lead ingested or inhaled is a health hazard. After the addition of lead to petrol has been banned, what still are the sources of lead poisoning? So, the options are 1. Smelting units, 2. Pen and pencils, 3. Paints, and 4. Hair oils and cosmetics. So, select the correct answer using the codes given below, and our options are A. 1, 2 and 3 only, B 1 and 3 only, C 2 and 4 only, and D 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this question is regarding the lead poisoning. So lead poisoning refers to a condition of metal poisoning inside the human body caused by the metal lead, and the usual symptoms are abdominal pain, then irritability, tingling sensation of hands and feet, headache, etc. Then in later stages, it can even lead to anemia, then seizures and coma also. What are the main causes? The causes are exposure to contaminated air, water, food that contains lead. So the main sources of exposure in our day-to-day life, that is paint, cosmetic products, then bullets sometimes, all these products contain lead in a small scale or large scale. And it is also noted that those people who are living near these melting units are at high risk of containing lead amount in their blood. That is, they contain high amount of lead in their blood. Coming back to our option, that is first one, smelting units. Of course, smelting units is there. Second one, pen and pencils. Here we can say that the pencil, it contains graphite, so not lead, so that option is wrong. Then third option, that is paints. Of course, paints contain lead, so it is correct. Then fourth option, hair oils and cosmetics. So in cosmetics, some amount of lead is present, but our question is regarding lead poisoning. So this cosmetic doesn't contain that amount of lead which can lead to a lead poisoning. So that is also wrong. Hence, our answer is B, 1 and 3 only. 1, smelting units, and 3, that is paints. So answer is B. That's all for today's session, and thank you for